Every day, we women face different challenges, and those challenges become even more evident when you're Muslim. Most of us remember the incident that happened last year in which a Muslim female was arrested after being forced off a plane in an airport in New Jersey. Today, Amani Khatahtbeh, the Jordanian-American activist, is here with us to tell us about her experience in being a Muslim living in the US.
After 9/11, which happened when I was a child, it was an experience of growing up through extreme propaganda about the Middle East and about the Muslim people. It created an environment in America where it made me personally feel like I was being forced to distance myself from my identity as an Arab woman and a Muslim woman. And actually, it wasn't until my first visit to Jordan when I was 13 years old that I was exposed to the Middle East for the first time and got to meet the Jordanian people and witness our Jordanian culture, the Middle Eastern culture for the first time. And it completely changed everything for me. It was revolutionary because it became very clear the stark contrast between how we were being misportrayed in America versus what the reality was here. And it's what inspired me to, when I returned to America, to want to change the way people viewed us and for us to reclaim our narrative in the media to speak for ourselves. Honestly, the biggest challenge of being a Muslim woman in the United States is the idea that we are oppressed and making it seem like we are voiceless and need others to speak on our behalf. That's been the most damaging misconception for us because in a lot of ways, that's what disempowers Muslim women the most. I mean, for us, especially in recent years, especially after Trump, Muslim women became one of the most targeted minorities in the United States. And in many ways, I believe that by Muslim women reclaiming their voice and showing the strong, empowered people that we are, in many ways, that is going to completely change not only life for us, but also for everybody. I actually started Muslim Girl, which is now the most influential media company in America for Muslim women's voices, after I was exposed to the Jordanian people. I came here and I saw how hospitable the people were and how beautiful my culture and my background is. And it made me fall in love with my roots. And it was at that time that I decided to start wearing a hijab, because to me, the hijab became a political symbol of defiance against Islamophobia, that we exist, we're here, and we're not going anywhere. Last year, right after I ran for Congress, I became the first Muslim woman in the history of my state to even get my name on the ballot for the national elections, which just shows you how hard life is for Muslim women with the adversity that we face in our society. And then, of course, immediately after the elections, I was boarding a flight on airlines, and a first-class passenger said that I made them feel uncomfortable. And because of that, they made the unilateral decision to have me forcibly removed from my flight that I had a ticket to. And then upon my removal from it, I was immediately arrested and taken from the door of the plane, not even into the airport, but straight down into the back of a cop car. And then when I was in custody at the police station, the police tried to get me to remove my hijab, which is a violation of our civil rights in America. We have the freedom of religion to wear this hijab, and they attempted to violate my rights as a result of that. So the entire situation really is a microcosm of the bigger challenges that we as a society face when it comes to enabling Muslim women. And it's quite interesting, right? It's very ironic that this is the country of freedom, of liberty, of opportunity. And yet, this is where Muslim women experience extreme adversity just for being who we are. One thing that was very disappointing to me in that situation was seeing how it was being misrepresented in Middle Eastern media. After that incident and after the viral story it created internationally on social media, those charges, they kind of held over my head for almost a year after that incident. And just recently, they finally were dropped, of course, because they were completely trumped up charges. And now that those charges are off of this case, I am pursuing action against both the airlines and the police department for the discrimination that I suffered. The fact is that Muslim women don't need anyone to speak for us. We don't have to be a voice for the voiceless because nobody is truly voiceless. There are just people that are systematically silenced. And by Muslim women having the courage to speak up for themselves against all odds, we inspire the rest of our generation and the generations after us to also speak up as well. And we come from a long history of doing so. Muslim women throughout time have been incredible actors within every society they've existed in. And that's our legacy to continue.